Everybody would look at sort of England and France in terms of Irish victories or Irish defeats, but we hadn't beaten Scotland at Murrayfield since those heady days of 1985. So we're actually going back 18 years, and we'd gone something like 9 games in a row without a win at Murrayfield.
Number one, we'd lost 9 in a row, which is just ridiculous. But number two, the record in the record books for Ireland's successive wins was a paltry 6. Like it was really time to get rid of that and at least take it on to the dizzy heights of 7.
2 years previously, there had been an absolute debacle under Gatland when, if he had won, he would have been a Grand Slam winner and possibly canonised and King of all Ireland to boot. And because we played so badly in Edinburgh, that cost him all that.
There we go. And Gordon Ross gets us going in this 115th match between the sides. First take by Shane Horgan.
It was a perfect day for rugby. It was a very significant day for a couple of players. Anthony Foley was winning his 40th cap, and Ireland's outside half David Humphreys was winning his 48th cap. Now he was getting his 46th cap as an outside half, and he was equalling the Irish record for that position of his fellow Ulsterman and the all-time prince of outside halves, Jack Kyle. So it was a big day for David Humphreys.
Every game apart from the French game was played, the weather conditions were fine, so it allowed us to go out. We trained to play a certain way, which would have been dictated if the weather conditions had been different. But on the day we went out, we played the way we trained to, and managed to pick up a few tries.
They were awful to begin with. They were all over the place. Scotland could have scored right in the beginning when Dennis Hickey had a nightmare kick, Charles Down and so on. But the side, what has happened with this side at this point is winning is a habit. And therefore, they felt they could win.
The Irish performance on the day was an excellent performance, and people talk about a bit of luck or a bit of extra desperation on the day, and I think probably Peter Stringer's tackle or his hand trip on Metcalfe on the day, when it looked like Scotland were going to break out, saved the day. But I think that just represented what the team weren't going to let them score.
The half break by Ross first of all, and then at his shoulder was Glenn Metcalfe. And just watch the ankle tap once more. Fingertip stuff.
But they eventually did regain the composure, and they got up into the Scots half, and first of all Humphreys and then Brian O'Driscoll had decent sorties and they were well repelled, and then the ball came back to Dennis Hickey. Now Dennis Hickey would be known as a speedster rather than a bruiser, but Dennis Hickey is a big strong fella, and he used all that strength and he battered his way over the Scots line for the opening try.
Almost now, can this be a try for Dennis Hickey? Is he in? The arm is up! Dennis Hickey gets another try, his 15th for Ireland, in the first attacking move that Ireland have had in the match.
Jordan Murphy was making one of his rare appearances that particular day, and in typical Murphy fashion he put in one moment of rare brilliance.
Jordan Murphy to pick up. Well, that's a relieving kick if ever there was one, and Murphy has the legs. Cross comes Logan.
There'd already been calls for Jordan to be in this team. This is one of the great talents, who was a little bit out of sight, out of mind over at Leicester. They were describing him as the George Best of rugby union and so forth. And his roll call of caps up until that juncture wasn't exactly A-list. It was the Samoans, the Fijians, the Romanians, and this kind of opposition. But he'd never been given a real chance. And ironically, he wasn't in the starting lineup that day.
Jordan Murphy now dive on it. Whoa! How about that? Well.
He'd only just come on for an injured Shane Horgan. I remember the call between the two of them, who was going to play in the wing, was a very tight one. I think Jordan really didn't look back after that from when he got on in the Scottish game. I think he was probably the player of the year for Ireland.
He kicked the ball through, kicked the ball again, and with soccer skills that would do credit to Ronaldo or David Beckham or anybody at that particular top level. He controlled the ball, and he has got such blistering pace. So a combination of his ability to control the ball and pace and sheer sang-froid scored a fabulous Irish try.
Stringer once more. Humphreys has had a good day.
And the tin hat was put on it, as far as Ireland was concerned, was really a team try, and very nicely worked between the backs. O'Driscoll was involved, Maggs was involved. Maggs is very strong, low centre of gravity, cut right through and drew the last defender, and he offloaded it right at the right moment to David Humphreys, who was in underneath the post.
Two from nothing, but it just shows the reflex action and the way these players are playing together. That's a superb score.
The professional era in Ireland was always going to be a struggle. But now we are in the era of gladiators paid to play. What O'Sullivan brought to the game, and I think when we talk about when professionalism became professional, he was and is the first professional coach. He is the one who espouses the organisation, the planning, the discipline, and in some respects, the ruthlessness that is professionalism. And soccer is known for 100 years. We now have it, and we are reaping the rewards.